My name is Suzanne Hoffman, and I am Superintendent of Schools here in Vancouver. Today is Tuesday, and it is May the 19th. So where are we at now with respect to COVID-19 and our K-12 system? On Friday, we heard from our Premier and our Minister of Education, and the direction came that we should look to further opening our schools as of June the 1st. And that direction came through our Provincial Health Officer, Dr. Bonnie Henry, and we have been working closely with our Ministry of Health connections and also with Vancouver Coastal Health. We have also received late last week a number of documents to support us in this work. Public Health provided guidance, the Ministry of Education provided guidelines for K-12, and we have an education restart plan, and we also received documentation from WorkSafe BC to help us in our planning as we move forward. What came out from the ministry was a 5-stage fluid plan that we should contemplate as we go forward in the weeks ahead, and also look ahead to September and what that opening might look like. The 5-stage plan has 4 discrete sections, and you can see in the graphic in front of you. The first layer talks about the density within our schools, what percentage of students in the different stages would be able to be in our buildings. The second part of that stage plan is around in-class instruction and what grades and for how much would they be able to be in our schools. And thirdly is a look at our vulnerable students, those that we are already supporting and taking care of our essential service workers' children. And then finally, what does that blended online remote learning look like as we go forward with our planning? We are currently in stage 4. And what we have been asked to do for June the 1st is move to stage 3. And when you look at the guidelines that have been set for stage 3, we talk about a 50% density in our schools. That means that 50% of our school population may be in our schools at any one period in time. It also talks about what does in-class instruction look like. And for kindergarten to grade 5, it defines that it should be 2 to 3 days. For grades 6 and 7, a day a week, and then for grades 8 to 12, a day a week. And then it also talks about we will continue to support essential service workers' children full-time, and we will continue to do as we have been doing, supporting our vulnerable learners. And then that bottom part about the remote online learning, what is that going to look like as we move forward with the contemplation of some students coming back into our schools? What was also said in the announcement last Friday was that it is voluntary for parents to choose whether or not to send their children back to school for the month of June. So where to this week, given all of that information that came late last week? First and foremost, and what will always take place, is the health and safety parameters that have been outlined in those documents, and that will be something that we continue to make the number one priority. We want to make sure that health and safety and well-being of our children that we serve and of our staff is front of mind. We also have been in conversations with our administrators in our schools to talk to them about what are some of the health precautions that they are thinking about. Monitoring the health and wellness as people arrive at schools. Talking about hand washing and sinks and hand sanitizer. The cleaning and the logistics of during the day cleaning and what that looks like on an evening. The logistics of a day and the logistics within a school, the staggered start, the traffic flow within a school, and then what about physical space and physical spacing and the ability to be outside? All of those things are being thought through as we speak, and our principals, now that we know our guidelines, will work with staff to determine what that looks like in your child's school. Communication is really important during this time, and we need to communicate with you. We need to find out from you, our parents, what it will look like for your family and for your children. So we will be sending out a survey tomorrow, Wednesday, May the 20th, and we are going to ask you if your children are coming back to school on June 1st or whether you are choosing to keep them at home. We need to know what that information is in order to put our plans in place. So you should please watch for that and please return that survey so that we have an indication of numbers in our schools so that we can address what learning will look like for the month of June. On June the 1st, we will welcome back those students face-to-face that have indicated they will return. Human connection through all of this is very important, but we will also continue to support those that choose to continue with remote or online learning. And what that looks like is yet to be determined as we work with our teachers and our support staff to ensure that they are able to deliver and manage that work, but also to manage expectations for everybody during these times. We will also continue with the food programs that we have been providing. The use of technology will continue for our students, and also continuing to work with essential service workers' children and helping support those that need additional support in our schools. The continuation of learning will happen. It will look very different. We have adapted, we will continue to iterate, and we will continue to move forward in the work to support your children. And finally, as we go about this, we're in this together, we've got this, but we need to be calm, we need to be thoughtful in our work, and we truly need to manage expectations of ourselves, of others, and of, most importantly, your children. Thank you for listening, and please stay tuned. There's lots more information to come in the days and weeks ahead. Thank you for listening.